I like procurement because it's based on relationship building and how to communicate with suppliers and being that go-to person in your company to make things happen.
So we're at Kennedy Coffee today, and we're getting to know Montinique Davis. She is a junior in supply chain management at Walton, but she also has her associate's degree already. So Montinique, I was hoping you could tell me a little bit about your associate's degree and your education journey and your transition into Walton College, and just, tell us about those experiences.
Okay, so initially I was getting my associate's degree in entrepreneurship at Northwest Arkansas Community College because I wanted my own business. I'm a hairstylist, and so I wanted to go in that direction. So as I started at the school, I had a professor, Jahia Birchfield and Christopher Neelan. And so in their classes, Mr. Birchfield is economics and Mr. Neelan is intro to supply chain. And so we talked about the entrepreneurship program and what I wanted to do, and I explained to them my thoughts. And so Mr. Birchfield, the first one, he was like, you should look into supply chain. I said, okay. And so when I decided to look into supply chain, I realized that they offered it at the Walton College of Business. Actually, one of my clients, because I'm a hairstylist, she told me about the Walton College of Business and how that's an excellent school. And so when I looked into it and then I saw supply chain, I was like, okay, well, I'm not sure. I'll just go ahead and transition with entrepreneurship. And then my second year at NWACC, I was in Mr. Neelan's class. Okay. And he is the one that talked about supply chain, and it interested me because of the processes. And I'm thinking that's kind of like what I do right now. Yeah. And they said if you want to be a business owner, supply chain is the way to go because you learn the finance side, the communication side, marketing, you learn relationships and all that tied into one. Yeah. And so being in his class, it really intrigued my interest. Then that's when I looked into the Walton College of Business. I was intimidated at first. We had two advisors that come from the Walton College of Business to NWACC. Okay. And he sat down and he looked at the classes I'd already taken and he said, you've done the hard part. Once you get to the Walton College of Business, it's easy. Yeah. I was like, okay. And then we had a orientation.
Oh, yeah.
And so that was excellent. They had former NWACC students there to tell us about their journey, and so I was convinced.
And I know that you also helped execute a very large event in Northwest Arkansas. Yes. An event that isn't traditionally thought of as anything supply chain related, but that you actually use your supply chain skills and concepts and knowledge to help that event be very successful.
Yes.
And I was hoping if you could tell us a little about that event and what you do with it.
Okay, so it's Northwest Arkansas Fashion Week. I am the director of hair. And so I have used a lot of my supply chain skills to help me with that program. I would say the most important thing is leadership. Leadership being the one that people can talk to when they need information, but also I'm in the mix with them. Mm-hmm. I'm helping them to better their position, to give them information on the processes of Fashion Week. So for example, we just had a meeting last summer about the operations. And so I suggested that back of house, the production part, we needed more structure. We needed a person to go to for the models, how the models should be set up. We need a person to go to for the hair. We need a person to go to for the makeup. And then we need that main person for everybody to connect with to communicate with the CEO. And so it was all about processes. Yeah. Even now, I have to contact suppliers about different products for hair, different products for makeup, and make sure we build a relationship with them so they can send us things that we can use in the show. And even now, at this moment, what I'm doing is contacting other stylists throughout the whole Arkansas to come and be a part of Fashion Week. We have to formulate the email just right. The communication and the language has to be there to make them want to come and even volunteer, because that's a big thing, to come and give your time for something, without
Well, that's
pay.
awesome.
Yes.
And I've attended a few times, and it's an awesome event. So well done. Well done.
You.
So what has been your favorite supply chain course so far, and why?
Procurement with Dr. Van Hoek. And I like procurement because it's based on relationship building and how to communicate with suppliers and being that go-to person in your company to make things happen.
Yeah. I also understand that you are a member of WISE,
yes.
Women Impacting Supply Chain, the supply chain club that we have. So Could you talk briefly about the benefit that you had of joining that organization?
The benefit is definitely being able to be a part of guest speakers. We went to Walmart, the Wall Street series, and I was really proud of that because I felt like they really cared about the students, and we have an example to be exposed to the industry early, and then listen to people talk and let us know what to expect once we graduate.
Awesome. So my last question for you is, looking back over your journey, your education journey, what advice would you maybe have to some young incoming freshmen?
I would say take each day for the day, do your best, and don't be discouraged because each class that you're taking builds on the next class. It's the foundation from what you're going to have in the future. Just really quick, when I was taking my first classes at NWACC, I didn't understand what they meant, like accounting. I loved accounting, but I see now why I took accounting. So just take it one step at a time. Don't be too anxious.
Awesome.
That's it.
That's great advice. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. It was great to talk to you and get to know you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
All right.